you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, a Friday edition. Welcome on in, the 23rd of January 2026. Got a lot to talk about today. College Football Playoff Committee announced, and the NCAA really announced, that they're keeping the playoff at 12 teams, that they're going to keep it the way it is for the most part, outside of a couple caveats, including in which Notre Dame getting a top 12 in the AP poll, they automatically get into the field. And they're also announcing that the top four, not top four, the Power Four conference champions get into the Big Dance. So that means ACC, Big 12, SEC, and Big 10. So you got a lot to talk about there. Indiana, Miami did $30 million in ratings on Monday night, which is the highest rated college football game since 2014 in the inaugural season of the college football playoff, in which Oregon took on Ohio State. It was the highest since then, which did, I believe, about $33 million. But it's been the highest game in years, and it was the highest rated game in a long time. Christian and I were just talking about it on Theoretically Speaking. But we got you for the next 2 hours today on your radio dial at ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and ESPN South Florida. Mike, welcome in. How you doing today?
I'm great. Getting ready for a fun weekend. We got youth basketball playoffs. Got Saturday tailgate coming up tomorrow. Yeah, we got the playoffs are starting tomorrow, Kyle. You're just out on the 3-game series.
I don't like the 3-game championship series.
The 3-game championship. And obviously, this is the youth basketball team that Colin and I coach in Palm Beach Gardens. The vice president of the Palm Beach Garden Youth Basketball Association is our president of Good Karma Brand, Steve Politziner. But yeah, we got a big game. You got a big game coming up tomorrow. So.
Were you surprised to see that Indiana, Miami did as well as it did with the rating?
Not necessarily.
You were not surprised?
I wasn't. Just
$24 million was Ohio State, Notre Dame last year.
We talked about this, the storyline there. I feel like everyone was a sucker outside of me for the Indiana storyline. I feel like Miami getting back to relevance definitely resonated with a lot of the population. You got to remember, Kyle, I mean, early 2000s Miami, they were the team. They were the Alabama, the Ohio States of the world, where they were there every single year, had great teams, most talented rosters, and had chances to win. So I think the storylines for both teams are great. Miami, the last team to sneak in, going on a run, beating Goliaths along the way, getting to the title game, a home title game, by the way, at Hard Rock Stadium. And then Indiana, the 2-star quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, undefeated season on the line, Heisman Trophy winner, the no doubt number 1 pick in the NFL draft. All of the storylines were there. And I think as far as last year's championship, people are sick of Ohio State. People are sick of Notre Dame. I feel like that's the case there. But it was a good game, too. I think a lot of people probably tuned in late. A lot of people who maybe didn't have interest in the beginning saw that Miami hung around, saw that Miami had a chance. And I think that's what happened there. For the sake of the argument, it was a great college football season. It was a great college football national championship. And I think everybody fell in love with the Indiana storyline.
For the top 7 games in terms of ratings from the year, all included Indiana. And Miami and Ohio State was a big rating as well. But I don't know why. We were just hypothesizing this in the end of Theoretically Speaking. I have no idea why the rating was as big as it was.
Really?
30.1 million. I'm just trying to draw sense of it. I think it's just a marketing masterclass. The game was good, but that usually has something to do with it with the peak. But 30 million, it's 6 million more than last year. Those are 2 of the biggest programs, marquee programs in the country.
They're sick of them.
From last year in Ohio State and Notre Dame. I agree with that. Maybe there's some truth to that, but 24 million was viewed as a pretty good rating. That was viewed as a good rating.
It was.
And this year we've seen 30 million for a team, Indiana, that was a 7.5-point favorite coming into the game, too.
Mendoza wanted to play for Miami as well. He tried walking on at Miami. I just think the stars aligned.
I don't think the sick of them explanation works because it's not like Ohio State won back-to-back national championships or played in a championship since when, 2013?
2014. But
2014.
And Notre Dame hadn't been there forever
exactly.
either.
They're consistently there. The Buckeyes have been consistently in the playoffs.
Right, but Notre Dame was the big story there.
It was. It was Notre Dame, their first title since what? Lou Holtz? I get it. I get it. Maybe the whole sick of it is a cop-out. They fell in love with the coach and the quarterback. Look, I think is the reason. I am the only person in America that is sick of hearing about Indiana. Everyone else, and even Christian is a Penn State fan. All right, he loved the story. He loved the Indiana stuff. I hated it. Couldn't stand it. I'm alone on that. Myself and my fan base, we are alone on having enough of Indiana, Kirk Cignetti, and Mendoza. I can't wait to never hear about that ever again and get the next college football season going. But I'm about the 5% of America that thinks that. Everyone else is falling in love with him.
That's why I think is a bulk of the reason.
And then he's great.
I think you're underrating the appeal of Miami and the nationwide appeal to Miami.
I told you. I just told
Not
Colin.
you, Mike.
Okay.
Colin.
Indiana was the draw there. I don't think it was Miami.
No.
Why?
Miami was
Hold
the
on.
draw.
Miami Ole Miss
was the
did
draw.
terrible. Miami Ole Miss was Texas Ohio State in the regular season did better than Miami Ole Miss. It was the 11% decline since last year, did $15 million. I understand Miami Ohio State did well. But Ohio State was there. Miami and Indiana Oregon did much better than Miami Ole Miss did. I understand Ole Miss is not a draw. That doesn't help. But Miami was in that game. That was a semifinal game, and that was an excellent game. And that did $15 million. This did 30. It's because of Miami. This is because of Indiana. Indiana against Alabama at 38-3 did $24 million.
I also think this
Indiana's the draw.
We also, at least me and you, Colin, we hated the date it was on. January 19th is way too late to be playing a college football game.
They're not changing anything, I'll tell you that.
I mean, Colin, next year, the game wouldn't even happen.
It's the 25th.
It'd be 2 days from now, all right? It'd be, Sunday? It'd be Sunday for the sake of the argument. I mean, geez, that's a waste of time. But I also think it did such a tremendous rating because what was it? It was a Monday. It was Martin Luther King Day. It was competing against the NBA and a couple of college basketball games.
Capitalized off a good football weekend with the NFL.
I think that's what was it. And I think people were maybe more intrigued with the other semifinal matchup. I think people were more intrigued with, believe it or not, the Indiana and Oregon. I know it didn't turn out to be a good game, Colin, but I think people were probably more interested, to your credit, were more interested to see if Indiana had the juice to get to the national title.
You said it. I think the fact is that Cignetti's a little Saban Belichick-esque in terms of personality. He's very black and white in terms of how he speaks to the media, but he's almost entertaining in an endearing way. And Mendoza is as likable as a college football athlete as we've seen in a couple of years.
I agree.
So, and he's great with the media. He's fun to watch. He's lovable to the casual fan. It's easy to get behind him. Indiana is not a polarizing school, so therefore a casual fan can easily get behind them because of just how poor they were into this year. I think that's a draw, and I think Indiana's an untapped market. That brand, they have so much alumni. It is a massive school. I believe it's the largest standing alumni base in the country.
Is it? I'd be shooting from the hip.
But I believe it's top 5.
Okay.
It's just in terms of the sheer number of students that go through there. I just think it's an untapped market. And I think it has the East Coast ties. I don't know. I'm just along the line. I just think it was a marketing masterclass of getting people behind a team like Indiana.
And Mendoza's humble, too. Like
he's likable. He's likable.
He is. And I listen, I sports hate Indiana. It's not like I hate them. It's just, they were the team that knocked my team off. It's that simple. They were the team that knocked my team off, and they were the new standard in my conference. So I'm ready to, start snapping the ball next year. But everyone is still in love with the storyline. I could hardly blame them. If I were a neutral and I didn't have a dog in the fight, I definitely would have gotten behind Indiana. There's no doubt. And if I could go back to the Miami point, Miami, with the alumni base that they don't nearly have as many players in the NFL that they did in the early 2000s or stars.
It's a private school. It's it's not as accessible of a school to the state of Florida as it could be. That's part of the reason.
And listen, I know the semifinal did bad, but I think there was juice there with them too.
No doubt.
I think there was definitely big time juice with them. The home game, I think the home game played into that too. Like, oh my God, like I think people tuned in to see the crowd. Like if it was going to be an overwhelming Miami crowd, and it wasn't. I think all three of us, at least myself and Theo, I think Christian was on it. I thought there were more Indiana fans personally. I really do think that there were more Indiana fans in that building. I kind of give credit to the playoff committee for not letting Miami fans just completely buy out the market.
Miami's got a little Duke to them. How about that? Private school. You root for Miami teams even if you didn't pay the ungodly amount of tuition to go to Miami. They have a reputation that precedes themselves, a different reputation.
Duke's like Notre Dame, but way more successful. Duke's like Notre Dame. It's got the elitist mentality. Miami doesn't. I wouldn't say Miami's elitist. Right? Duke is elitist, similar to how Notre Dame is.
Right. I'm talking about that type of, not that they feel the same way, but the type of fan base that they do have.
But Miami is also
it's a casual sports fans team.
Yeah, like Jonathan Zesso says,
I
the
don't know-
Miami Hurricanes are
I don't know if I
treated
agree
like
with that.
another pro franchise
Dude,
in the city.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I do. And because the Notre Dame, I think they're both the same because people from Indiana tend to, be a Notre Dame fan, not an Indiana Hoosier fan. And I think it's the same thing. It's the city's team. I know you get on people for not going to the school and rooting for the team, but people who live in Miami, they have nothing to do with the university. They're from Miami. They're claiming Miami. I love that.
Yeah, but Miami's
I love
not.
that.
I agree, and Miami's
Because
got a city behind it.
Ohio
It's not a
State's the
huge
same way.
city.
Michigan's
It's not a
the
huge
same
city.
way.
It's not a huge city, right? Like Miami's a big city. It's not in terms of population. It's not.
But
It's-
like Heat, Dolphins,
And
Hurricanes.
the void
You know what
of
I
winning
mean?
football that's been left by the Dolphins being bad for so long has opened the door for a football fan that wants to watch a team that they root for win. You gravitate towards the Hurricanes a little bit more than you do the Dolphins.
I'm not saying Miami's not a draw. I'm saying Indiana was the draw. They were the bigger market in that game. They were 30 million people. That was because of Indiana. That was not because of Miami. I'm saying Miami helps. I think the storylines help, but I don't think Miami it's a private school. It doesn't have as much of an alumni base. I understand the casual fan can jump on with that, but it is not as much of it. It hasn't been a story in years. The Duke is there every
But isn't that the
single
draw?
year.
Hang on, isn't that the draw?
Notre Dame's there every year.
The appeal with Miami is that they're finally back.
I know, but
That's the
but
appeal.
that doesn't draw in the casual fan.
Yes, it does.
I think it does.
It doesn't
It
because
taps
what
into-
casual fan is rooting for Miami past the last 3 years that's not jumping
But
on
I
Indiana?
think it's not rooting for them. It's tuning in to
Interested.
see.
Well, answer this question for me. Why did Miami Ole Miss do terribly? Why was it the 11th most watched game all year? Why was Indiana in 4 of the top 7? Why?
I think it's back what I told you earlier. I think people were more interested at that point in Miami. I'll give you credit.
At what point?
At the semifinal, they were more interested
They're
in
less
the Indiana
interested
I
in
think
Indiana.
I think
Okay.
they were more interested in the Indiana semifinal than they were in the Miami semifinal. I think that they thought Miami beating Ohio State, beating the teams that they did along the way, were nonetheless going to steamroll in that game. I thought Miami was going to steamroll in that game. To be
Against
fair.
Ole Miss.
Against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Well,
going
the
to
game was
steamroll
great.
that game.
The game was great.
And
It was 35-7 at half for Indiana, Oregon. I mean, what are we talking about? I understand. but
I think in a sense of a semifinal game compared to a national championship game, I think is a little unfair. Because it's a standalone
Fine.
game. There are 2 games in the semifinal.
Then why was the
There's
second
one
most
game in
watched
the
game all
national
year? The
championship.
Rose Bowl with Alabama and Indiana. Alabama's a huge draw. I get it, fine. But Indiana is the constant in this situation.
Listen, I'm not
It's a
arguing.
38-3.
Indiana was the bigger story. I'm just saying Miami brought juice to the table too. This wasn't like they were little sisters of the poor in this storyline. They had a lot
Yeah, I think
going
it's
in
an
the
equal
storyline.
share. I think there's an equal share here.
They had a lot going in the storyline, Christian, and I think the fact that they were the last team into, they weren't even supposed to be
Exactly.
there.
You
With
got to
all-
think from the
with-
casual
with
fan.
how-
The casual fan doesn't know that. You got to think about from getting
Yes,
that
they
last.
do. That was massive news.
No, it
when
was
Notre
not.
Dame
No,
getting left
not
out
making
is
it. Yeah,
national news.
Notre Dame
Notre Dame being
definitely.
left out, but Miami being that last. Think about that last draw you're trying to get, the 24 versus 30 million. You're trying to capture the casual fan. The Miami getting barely into the college football playoff to play Texas A&M in the first round is not what draws into that situation. It is about brand recognition. Yes, it is about alumni base, parts of the country that would be intrigued in this team. Where do people from these schools live? I think the fact is that the school itself has more notable names. Mario Cristobal's not as big as Signetti.
Oh,
Carson.
come on. Please. Are you kidding me?
Signetti? Bigger
Yeah.
than Cristobal? I'd say yes.
No.
Are you nuts?
He had 2 seasons there where Cristobal
yeah,
went from Oregon to Miami.
Bigger now.
After he won the championship, yeah, he's a bigger
oh, my
name.
goodness. Are you nuts? Cristobal bigger than Signetti? What?
I mean, now that
Signetti's
Signetti
the
won
biggest
the
name
game
in the sport right now.
Now he is.
What are we
Now
talking
he is.
about? No, he was. He's the biggest name in the sport. Be
I'm-
fair. That's wrong. You're wrong there.
There's
That's
no
not
reason
true.
for anyone in Los Angeles to care about Kurt Signetti until now.
Well, the big story is that they were nothing 2 years ago. Signetti's on every post, every billboard. He's getting a free Chipotle bowl. I understand.
It takes more than 1 year to
if
become
Cristobal
a
won
household
that game,
name.
I don't see a Chipotle bowl named Mario Cristobal. I don't see that.
No, it's Cafecito, of course. Yeah, there's going to be coffee shops around the world.
You're wrong there. You're wrong there. Kurt Signetti's a bigger name, bigger story, bigger piece of the branch of football than Mario Cristobal is, bar none. And Mendoza's 3 times the size Beck ever will be in terms of outreach.
See, again, no, because this is a 1 year thing with Mendoza. It is a 2
All right, so now
year
you're
thing
trying
with
to tell me,
Signetti.
would Carson Beck be on Jimmy Fallon if he won the national championship?
More people know who Carson Beck is?
Maybe.
Going
I
into
say
last
maybe.
night, going into Monday night's
Is
game.
Mendoza a bigger name than Carson Beck right now?
He is.
Going into the Heisman ceremony. Before he won the Heisman,
Well, the
more
Heisman
people knew
ceremony was a
Beck.
month and a half ago.
Okay,
It was
fair
December
enough.
1st.
To add
So mine is a month and a half ago.
quickly, to add a third in this, going into the game, Signetti was the bigger draw. I do see Christian's point of Mario has a bigger. We have a bigger
track
case
record
and case study, right?
Again.
Mario beat Day in Columbus. Mario has been known to lose the games he's supposed to win. I think going into the season, Christian is probably right. But with how the season ended.
We're not talking about going into the season. We're talking about what happened in the season. Indiana has 4 of the top 7 draws all year, and one of them was against Oregon, who is not a draw, traditionally, ever. Nobody watches Oregon. Oregon is a fake fan base. It is just the northwest parts of the United States. The West Coast does not resonate. They resonate with USC. They don't resonate with Oregon. So that's not the reason. And Indiana fine. Alabama and Indiana was a perfect draw at a perfect location, perfect game, perfect storm. Indiana, Ohio State, 2 big draws, still did $19 million. Did $5 more million than Miami ever did. So and they were undefeated coming into the game. They were Big Ten champions.
Yep. I would agree with Colin going into the game. Signetti was the bigger. But
absolutely. I'm surprised we're even on the point of this. Signetti's a personality.
As a name, though, we're trying to get to non-sports fans.
But yes,
he has 2 years of being relevant.
Non-sports fans don't know Mario Cristobal. I would even argue today. I mean, even today, even after the game, they don't. You ask the kid, 7 million people, the 30 who watched it the other night. What was the name of Miami's coach again? They wouldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you. And I understand it's a losing team, so it's not as fair. But my point being is Signetti has turned into a big namesake Belichick-like star over the last month and a half. Right? Am I on the wrong side here?
I agree with you.
And I think the proof is in the pudding because Ole Miss Miami did nothing.
I said going into the game, yes, Signetti was a bigger draw. I do see what Christian is saying, though, is that before the season, it was Cristobal. But what's the argument? I guess I'm missing the argument.
Who has a better
draw to the mass appeal? Who has better mass appeal? Who knows about why their other coach more?
They know about Signetti because of the way he acts and the undefeated team this year and the quarterback. The answer is Signetti, but I don't punish Christian as much as you are for thinking people know who Mario is. People know who Mario Cristobal is.
Fine, college football fans, absolutely. College football fans, not even a question.
It takes more than just 1 year and 2 years of relevance to
clearly
really resonate
They
with
just
the country.
did $30 million on the national championship.
I personally think people know Cristobal for before the college football playoff run. People know Cristobal for all the wrong reasons. The shoulda need it game when they ran it, fumbled, and lost the game. Losing last year to Georgia Tech and Syracuse, and then the 2 losses this year. It seemed like it was a Mario Cristobal redemption. I think the story is people were interested in Cristobal because of the redemption tour. This was a team that wasn't even supposed to be in here, and now they're playing they beat the defending champs along the way. They had this great game against Ole Miss where Beck had his signature moment.
Coming into the game, it was already widely known that what Signetti has done is one of the most impressive feats in sports, period. Widely known. Even when they went undefeated through the regular season, going into the playoff, being a 1 seed.
I would agree.
Widely known as one of the more remarkable feats of just turning around a whole situation. Unbelievable. Massive appeal to that because people love an underdog like that coming out of nowhere. They weren't even underdog, favored in every game. But I'm talking you want to talk macro? That's macro.
All right. Well, let me kind of turn the tables here. Going forward, who's going to have more success, Cristobal or Kirk Signetti?
I mean, how can you say anything but Signetti?
Christian?
He is the biggest name in the sport right now. He's bigger than Kirby right now. He's bigger than Day. He's bigger than Freeman. Signetti has eclipsed all of them in 1 year.
Fair. But I'm talking about years to come. Who's going to be in more national championship games in years to come, Cristobal or Signetti?
It's
a fair question.
Mark Cuban lining up his bank account from Indiana gives me pause because we talk about how college football changed. And the X factor that Miami, we would have thought, had over Indiana in this 5 to 10 year plan is having deeper pockets. And that might not be the case. It might be equal, if not greater than, for Indiana if that massive alumni base does tap into their wallets as well.
Both teams are going to be having to deal with the portal unknown. Indiana, another transfer quarterback. Miami is going to have another transfer quarterback. Is that going to be continued success? We've seen it. It's been.
Oh, I got the answer. It's going to be Miami because of their conference. Yeah, Miami is going to be set up for success more so.
I was going to butt so in because they got Ohio State, they got Michigan, they got Oregon. People were thinking USC is going to be a big-time player maybe here comes soon. The Big Ten is the best conference. But the ACC, as a conference, you're banking on Clemson and Florida State and some of these other schools to get back to relevancy. I think Miami's going to run through that conference.
Yeah, arguably,
and I know they've never won the conference. This is based off of nothing. I'm being completely fair here. I'm making the claim that Miami's going to run through the conference, something they haven't done in 30 years, 20 years of being in the conference. But on the outlook, I think Miami will run through their conference comparatively more.
What tells you that Miami's going to be a
Indiana?
juggernaut more so than Indiana is? What tells you?
I am, like I said, I just told you the conference.
Yeah.
And it's the conference.
Let me follow up a question with another question.
Colin, it's blind faith.
Which team was reliant on the player versus the team? Which team was reliant more on the overall 1 through 22 versus the star player?
100%, definitely Miami.
Is there going to be another Ruben Bain walking through the door? There's no guarantee.
Wait. You're saying that Miami relied on the player, not the team? Over the Heisman Award-winning quarterback at Indiana and Fernando Mendoza, who made the play of the game on 4th and 4?
With the number 4 defense, too? Are we including them or not?
That's fantastic, but clearly the best player
no
in the most important position was on Indiana in that game on Monday.
I think the theme going into the game was absolutely the fact that Miami has a bunch of NFL stars all over the field. Everybody wants to talk about more talented. Why did Indiana win? Just because of the quarterback? Or because of every other part?
Yes, because of the quarterback. Absolutely.
What about the defense who held Miami to one?
You swapped the quarterbacks, and the game is an Indiana 10-point win.
What about Miami getting one first down in the first half? Is that because of Mendoza?
Miami getting one first down in the first half? Oh, I don't know, because their quarterback was not as good as Fernando Mendoza.
Because Beck stinks, not because
not
the
because he
great.
doesn't stink. It's because Fernando's great and he's not.
Why is the big argument that Indiana was average age was 23 years old? Was it just because of Mendoza, or because the team stinks? Does the team stink other than Mendoza? Be fair.
No, the team is good. You had to have a good team.
Great outside of Mendoza. It's a bunch of 3 and 4 stars throughout the team. No 5 stars, no big name prospects, and not a lot. And there'll be pros, but not a ton. So how are we under the impression that this is going to be one team is relying on all these pros who are going to the National Football League, going to the draft, at least defensively? And on the Indiana side of things, it's much more plausible to me because they have developed players, and you've seen that instead of bought players, that it's much more sustainable.
A lot of college football played on that Indiana team. I think that's just something that people are sleeping on too.
And they're all developed.
And I also think my team's doing it. All right. The Buckeyes looked at Indiana and said, God, they're old. What did they do? They went out and signed a bunch of seniors on their last year in the transfer portal. And there are plenty of other teams doing that. I like the argument. I do. I really do see both sides on this.
Who's the better coach team?
Who's
the better coach?
It's so hard because
it's not hard.
I think
it's Signetti.
But at the same time, you give credit to Cristobal
no
and the
doubt.
way they play.
Cristobal's a great coach. Top 10.
You can't sit here and not really just look at that Buckeye game and go, that's the only way they'd win that game. And guess what? They executed the hell out of that game. They got turnovers. They held the football. They ran the ball down their throat, and they kept the best defense at bay. I can even say the same thing about the Ole Miss game. They won that Ole Miss game because they bent and didn't break on the defensive side, and they got veteran quarterback play from Carson Beck.
Fine, I agree with you.
I think both sides
who's
was
a better coach? Mike, who's a better coach?
Right now?
Yes.
Kirk Signetti.
Not a question. Christian.
Yes, Kirk Signetti is a better coach right now. He had to build something from nothing right now.
Who's got more money?
Signetti.
Who's got more money?
But I don't
know if it's guaranteed.
Closer.
It's hard to get that number locked down.
It's closer than you think. I say this. Miami, there was a rumor Miami had $70 million in the roster last year. All right. Listen, Miami fans saw this year, and trust me, their donors are lining up to give Mario some money.
Fine. Who's better at developing players?
Well, he took players with him from JMU.
Should not be hesitation.
And the reason I'm hesitating, Christian said it, he took players from JMU. All those guys are gone. Signetti is a genius in the modern college football era of getting players in the portal,
and
figuring out of the system, and putting them into the system. And if we want to call that developing, fine. I think Mario, give him credit, the last 2 years.
They bought experienced products.
But at the last 2 years, you've seen development with Cristobal and his players as well. They fell short last year because the defense was bad. All right. And then this year they have a top 3 defense, probably behind Ohio State and Georgia. Okay. I mean, there's no Mario did a great thing this year. But if I had to pick one, it's Signetti because he won the game. Signetti won that game. He won the game.
He's not only that, he's lost 2 games in 2 years.
He won that game, and he's proved time and time again that The portal is where they're going to find their players and where they're going to develop from. I don't. Maybe it is the new norm, and we're going to see over the 5 years the way to win is a veteran quarterback and buying people in the portal to fit your system.
Now,
I tend to think that a quarterback like an Arch Manning and a Julian saying one of these years the guy who's the young guy who had to lose, lick his wounds and come back next year is going to be one of the quarterbacks that wins one of these years. I don't know if the transfer quarterback thing is going to continue to be the norm. I would like to think that an Arch Manning and a Sayan can lose, figure it out, come back next year and be better.
And also, Indiana swung and hit a grand slam on their quarterback transfer with Fernando Mendoza. That's undoubtedly true, winning the Heisman. Miami swung and probably had a base hit. Carson Beck was not a top 5. He probably was not a top 8 quarterback in this year's college football season, and they still were 6 points worse than one of the best college football national championships we've seen in the past 25 years.
You're trying to turn a lost game into a positive over the team that they lost to. That's what you're
I'm
trying
turning
to say?
a lost game into, wait a second, the position that they're going to have to retool every year and take that chance every year. They kind of rolled snake eyes with Carson Beck.
Which team is going to be more volatile year by year because they buy players?
Or no, you're not going to toss in the qualifier at the end. Who's going to be more volatile year over year?
That's volatile. What you just explained is called volatility.
I'm giving you a different reason why it's going to be volatile for Indiana.
Okay, why?
Is because there are many more other contenders in that conference to knock off Indiana before allowing them to get an advantageous seed in the college football playoff, making that road much more difficult than it was this year.
Well, clearly the seed doesn't make that much of a difference because Miami was the 10th seed and made it all the way to the final. As the second team, we've seen that. Second year, we've seen that teams that's playing in the first weekend play all the way to the championship. It hasn't made that much of a difference. The teams that get a bye are 1-7.
Hang on, quickly. With the current format, it'll be harder for Indiana to make it year in and year out. Than
fine,
Miami.
That's not a reason of who's going to be the better team. You're talking about everything externally, but nothing internally. Internally, it's a better run team. They got more coaches that are going to be there, and they've clearly shown that they're better at developing. I understand. Miami's more volatile. They're going to buy experienced players. And if they don't work, then that's going to hurt them.
Indiana does the same thing, though. They do the same thing.
With a couple positions, right? They'll get the wide receiver. They'll get the quarterback. Everybody does that. Everybody's going to get the quarterback. But all the players that played on the team have been Indiana guys since Cignetti got there. Surratt was there. Cooper was there. Black was there. Hardy was there. All them guys transferred in with Cignetti. It's Fisher defensively. I understand everybody's point here. But I'm just saying, you guys look towards the external factors as to why Indiana will be in a worse off spot, but nothing internal about the team.
It's hard to hang on to players, and you're going to upgrade in the portal every single year. To Colin's credit, that is every single team. I'd like to see how sustainable it is, and time will tell. Time will tell if the Indiana formula is going to be sustainable in college football with this current 12-team format. Then it's going to be fascinating.
One thing I'll add to this. Indiana's been there twice in 2 years. Miami's been there once. And how many? 5, 6? So
and listen,
Mario Cristobal got a lot better as a head coach from last year. In general, in-game head coaching decisions.
I would agree with that.
Which I don't think he's going to deteriorate.
I know. But he's not a better coach than Cignetti is.
Already. No, but they are in the same ballpark.
Maybe. I understand. Yeah, fine. I'll give you that. Get to a national championship. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are being unfair to Indiana here. What did we just watch? We just watched a team that the losingest program in the history of the sport who didn't get bankrolled money until the second year that he got there. And after the first time, they lost to 2 teams, the 2 eventual national championship attendees. And
Notre Dame and Ohio State.
And then they shredded the rest of the conference, everybody they played this year. And they played great teams. They played Oregon twice. They played Ohio State. They played Alabama, who, if you don't think Alabama was any good, fine. But they killed everybody.
Yeah. They didn't shred everyone. They didn't kill Miami. They didn't kill Ohio State, but I see the point.
Didn't kill Penn State.
Fine, how about this? They led the whole game against They led the whole game. They led the whole game against Miami. They led the entire game.
To your point, maybe
they won because of a blocked punt. Like, what are we talking about here? That game was a 50-50 shot.
Miami had 1 first down in the first half. They had 1 first down.
That's great. And they came back, and they had the ball with the chance to win.
Again, fine. Block punt's part of sport. You're the one who doesn't want special teams. It's part of the sport.
Exactly. So that's another reason why I don't want
4th and 4. Hang on, be fair. 4th and 4.
So we're supposed to excuse Miami for having bad quarterback play, but we're supposed to punish Indiana for making a special teams play. Am I getting that right?
Listen, you're not going to hear. I like special teams. You're not going to argue. Listen,
that doesn't
I'm
make
not
any
sitting
sense.
here and arguing special teams.
Now I'm not following.
What I'm saying.
not following.
What I'm saying is though, are we going to see another undefeated, undisputed champ from Indiana? Listen, that was one of the greatest teams ever. That's going to be hard to emulate at any level for any team.
And it hasn't been done.
All right? It hasn't. Michigan went 15-0. There have been a couple of teams that have went undefeated recently, but I don't know if we will. I mean, Sarkisian said it before the year. The years of going undefeated and winning the national championship are probably over. Signetti completely destroyed that take, but I tend to still agree with Sark. You're going to stub your toe, and you're going to lose some games. That's why it's impressive when some of these teams, especially teams that play in the Big Ten, I can't even throw the SEC in there anymore, but I'm throwing the SEC. The teams that play in these top-tier conferences, when they go undefeated into the playoff, it's very impressive. And I don't know if Signetti is just going to be able to go 26-0 or 32-0 the next 2 years.
I think it's going to be easy to hide within your conference. Like Penn State has a crappy schedule.
Dude, Penn State's going to be good next year.
Because they're going to look good in the aspect of their record, and it will be easier for them than tens and tens of other teams to go undefeated, quote unquote, if they can put together a team. But you can hide within your massive conference and get lucky with bad schools.
That too. And look at last year. Florida got burned because of a conference. Texas got burned because of their schedule. Next year, don't look at Ohio State's schedule. All right. I'm doom and gloom over here.
You're due for that.
All right. I am doom and gloom over here with the opponents that the Buckeyes at the face. I am hoping that they could get by unscathed with 2 losses. It's another good point. All right, and especially when you play in the Big Ten and the SEC, where the competition is probably a little more steeper than an ACC and some other conferences, you are going to stub your toe. So, I don't know. Listen, I think right now, with the current format and the 12 team and how it's set up, you're just trying not to lose more than 2 games. You're trying to win some big games along the way, not lose more than 2 games, and be considered for the 12 team. Like Penn State next year, to Christian's point, if they get into the playoff, that's a successful season. Off of last year and what Penn State did last year, if they make the playoff out of the Big Ten, I don't care who the hell they played in the Big Ten, Christian, honest to God, if they make the playoff with a first-year head coach, that is an absolute success story. Things are different when you start going with the Indianas of the world, the Ohio States of the world, the Alabamas of the world, where you're supposed to be competing for national titles year in and year out. Coaches are more in trouble now with the 12-team playoff. Coaches are on the hot seat more so than ever in the history of college football because everyone is expected year in and year out to make that damn 12-team playoff.
Yeah,
if you don't make that 12, ask what's his name, old Moneybags, Monopoly man in LSU who got fired this year, Brian Kelly. Ask him the pressure of trying to make that 12-team college football playoff.
Yeah, I think that it's easier to avoid the grenades in the ACC than it is in the SEC and the Big Ten, where you're going to have good football teams year over year that are in the same spot that Texas and Vanderbilt were in, and then cry poor because their record is less glamorous with the 3 in the loss column instead of 2.
Here's the
thing.
I
think Indiana's going to fall into that situation, even if they have them humming like Signetti has had them.
Here's the problem. 4 teams from the Big Ten are always going to get in, whereas in the ACC, it will probably be 1, maybe 2, if we're lucky. And the only other second team that would get a bid there is probably Miami. So you're talking about 4 spots versus 2. And Indiana next year, North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, that are out of conference. Their in-conference schedule is as follows. They have Ohio State at home. They have Minnesota, Northwestern, Purdue, and USC at home. Nothing crazy there. At Michigan with a new coach, at Nebraska, at Rutgers, and at Washington. They avoid Oregon. They avoid Penn State. They avoid a lot of the dangerous teams. They avoid Iowa. So
let's not give Michigan the excuse of new head coach. All right, they got plenty of money over there and have bought plenty of players.
It's fine. But my point being is that is a doable schedule. That's an easy schedule. And you want to talk about dodging grenades? Who has been the coach who has dodged grenades in the last 2 years? Cristobal, I can tell you 5 right now, and I can't tell you a single one with Signetti. So that's another thing I would add to the argument is Cristobal has been burned 5 times. SMU and Louisville. He's fortunate to get in a lot of ways. And then last year they got burned by.
And I was going to bring up last year. Sig lost every big game, and that's what he had to live with for a year. And then he came back and won them all. So it changes year in and year out. That's where I'm at. The schedule, how your team. All these teams are different too. That might be Sig's best team ever. Maybe he does go 16-0 again for a play to him. I tend to think that's going to be one of Signetti's best teams in the history of him coaching college football.
Maybe. But you could be at the start of a big dynasty. Been a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall. My friends Mark Anajar, Glenn Levine, at Anajar on Levine Accident Attorneys, are the type that like to fight for you. Get into that fender bender, don't know who's going to defend you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. They are the best around. They're the best in the business. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand the best. Go demand Anajar and Levine, because that's the difference. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call with a free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Colin, Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. We'll take a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at DelrayBeachOpen.com.
Banyan Printing, your trusted partner for all your printing and signage needs. With 48 years of local service, over 1,000 customers choose Banyan for fast turnaround, free delivery, consistent results, and market-leading customer service. Banyan's all-in-one solution saves businesses time and resources. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they eliminate the hassle of multiple vendors. If you're unsure you're getting the best service or value, visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Funnel cake, rice, farm animals.
Wake up, South Florida Fair.
Don't tell me what's fair. What? The South Florida Fair is open? Why didn't you say so sooner? Thursdays are BOGO Thursdays. Buy one admission ticket and get one ticket free. Every food vendor will have a BOGO deal. And ride credit bundles or half off on BOGO Thursdays. Visit southfloridafair.com/BOGO for details or download the fair app. Open now through February 1st in West Palm Beach.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be awarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
I used to talk about the weather as small talk. Now I talk about McValue deal days at McDonald's. A hamburger or cheeseburger for just 69 cents on Sundays and Wednesdays? I'm chit-chatting for days. A 6-piece chicken McNuggets for 99 cents on Mondays? Catch me yapping all day, dude. I'm not even mad about it. You want the deals? You need the app. Get 99-cent McNuggets and 69-cent hamburgers or cheeseburgers only in the app. These deals will definitely give you something to talk about. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Valid Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays in January and February at participating McDonald's. Valid once per day. Must opt into rewards.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. You got the conference championship games this weekend. AFC going first. Broncos, Patriots at Mile High, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Then the second of which, Seahawks, Rams, a rematch of some great divisional matchups that we had in that Thursday Night Football game about a month and a half ago. You got that coming up at the 6:30 slate. You could bet all this player by player, game by game on the Hard Rock Bet app.
And speaking of Hard Rock Bet, folks, Colin mentioned the conference championship weekend. You got the Pats and the Broncos, you got the Seahawks and the Rams. I lean Patriots, obviously, with Jarrett Stidham as the starting quarterback for the Broncos at 4.5. I'm all over the Patriots at -4.5, even on the road at Mile High. I mean, listen, spare me with the whole, the Broncos, they've been able to win this year. Bo Nick's not very good. This is Jarrett Stidham. All right, I got to see it to believe it. Give me the Patriots at 4.5, where they're good friends at Hard Rock Bet. And then on the other side of the thing, I like the Rams. I like the Rams at +2.5. So I like one favorite, and I like one dog for conference championship weekend. Do you disagree with me? What do you guys think? The good news is you could take all this stuff at Hard Rock Bet. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, all you got to do is download it on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and get started today. For all of our loyal listeners out there, you all know what I'm about to say. But for all my snowbirds down here who don't have the Hard Rock Bet app yet, you deposit $5, you bet $5 on a game for your first bet. If you win, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So, listen, for you, if you're a snowbird, just flew in down here, South Florida, you got the big freeze up north. There's no big freeze here. It's 80 degrees in sunny Florida. If you're placing a bet for the first time on one of these games, keep in mind you can get $150 in bonus bets. I'm always looking at those built-in parlays on the Discover tab. I hit one of those the other weekend, got a big payday. Keep in mind with all this stuff when you're circling through Hard Rock Bet, and it's so easy maneuvering on the app. All you got to do, if you want to find something, just go to that Discover tab, type in a team, type in a league. You can find all the bets right there on the interface with Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or a friend has a gambling issue, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That's 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You like the Patriots with the points this weekend on the road?
I do. I'm not.
What if I told you that home underdogs over 4.5 points are 10-0 against the spread since the playoffs in 1970?
Hee-haw! I'm a stubborn donkey on this one.
Yeah, how many of them were quarterbacked by Jarrett Stidham?
Hee-haw!
Do you remember Jarrett Stidham in 2017 beating Alabama as the #1 team?
No.
And then they also beat Georgia as the #2 team.
God, 2017.
So this is the year that Baker Mayfield and Oklahoma and Georgia had that great Rose Bowl, and then Tua Tagovailoa came in at halftime and beat Georgia in the national championship. Auburn with Jarrett Stidham beat both those teams in the championship.
I'm all good.
You're not putting anything to that.
Nothing to that. That was 9 years ago.
It was 8.5. It was last November.
But it was 9 years ago. What has he done in the NFL? Quarterbacked, 8 games?
I'm just saying he's played in a big game.
Kyle,
both at Jordan-Hare, too, so he's good in his home building.
I can't get behind that. The way for success for the Broncos, win the turnover battle and pray that a big run doesn't get busted up by Stevenson or Henderson and that your defense is going to show up at home. That's how you win. You hope it's like a 10-7 kind of game. You hope that it's that godforsaken Thursday night game that we all had to struggle through, Broncos versus Raiders. That's what they have to turn it into if they want to win that game.
You don't think Stidham's going to do anything in the game?
I don't think he's going to be able to do much of anything in the game. If it's throw out of the backfield or the running back. That's probably what he
Sounds like Knicks.
It sounds like Sean Payton's offense. I know where you're going here, but no, I think Vrabel and company are going to be ready for a backup quarterback.
Even if they haven't seen the guys and thrown a pass in regular seasons in 747 days.
I think that's more of a detriment than you haven't seen them. You know, I know where you're going
Can
here.
you
Is
spin
that
it
there's
on a
no
positive?
tape.
That there's no tape?
You cannot. I think, Kyle, I do not think that's a positive.
What about the fact
it's
that
a
they're
stinker.
at home?
Listen,
What about the fact that they're at home?
Colin, the NFL has a stinker on their hands.
What if they're at home?
It has a stinker on their hands in the AFC Championship.
What about the fact that they have an experienced
It's gonna
Super
be a
Bowl
bad
winning
game.
head coach?
Going to be a bad game. All right. And then people watch the NFL because they're, listen, I'm going to watch every snap of the game because I'm a huge football fan. But people at this point are such drones, they'll watch anything the NFL puts on.
You don't think Sean Payton
okay?
can get this kid ready?
No, I don't think you could get Jared Stidham. I don't think any coach should get Jared Stidham ready.
Hold on.
I don't think any coach should get Jared Stidham ready.
You have a little faith in Jared Stidham?
No.
Why?
Colin, it's going to be a bad game. And the NFL, I think they're a little disgraced that they have a team with a backup quarterback in there.
Well, you're saying backup quarterbacks can't win Super Bowls?
This isn't Nick Foles, 2017.
According to who?
Me. Mike Rizzo.
We haven't seen
of
Jared
Russo and
Stidham.
Rizzo, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the South Florida app.
Hold on. We've seen Brock Osweiler win big games. We've seen Doug Williams win
It's
a
fine.
Super Bowl.
Perfect. It's not one of these situations. Kyle, I barely get his name right. Stidham? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, we're good.
You don't remember him beating number 1 Alabama in the Iron Bowl in 2017?
Now that you bring it up, yes.
Jalen Hurts game.
But very forgettable. A very forgettable quarterback. Very forgettable.
Now, I must mention that the next year at Bryant-Denny, they lost 52-7.
I mean, Auburn's been irrelevant since
that was the last great year. Remember, that was the year.
Who the hell was it? Christian Gene Chizik? The coach who won the national championship?
It was 2017 where they were the 4th team in the country playing Georgia again in the SEC championship game. If they won, they would have gotten in.
Kyle,
and they lost.
Bo Nix and Cam Newton. That's what I've known Auburn for. And then listen,
Stidham was more successful than
and Nix left Auburn.
And
he's more known for being an Oregon quarterback. Auburn football has been irrelevant for 2 decades.
They've been irrelevant since 2017 with who? Jared Stidham.
Listen, Kyle, I love you. And you could sell me on any game. You could sell me on MEAC college basketball. All right, partner? This isn't a big game for me. Patriots are going to dominate start to finish. The NFC, though, I am intrigued. I'm very much so intrigued with Seahawks and Rams. This is what? The third time these teams are going to be playing each other this season?
Before we get to that, you don't think the Broncos, great offensive line, they have the best offensive line in the league, and they get a great defense. You don't think that will do anything?
Got to have someone that can make the throws.
But could you make the argument?
And I think people are downplaying how important Nick's is. The offense. Listen, has Nick's been perfect? Absolutely not.
No, but he's clutch.
Right.
He's clutch.
Yes, Kyle, they're without their starting quarterback. Any team would struggle. Any team.
I'm not saying they don't.
I know the Chiefs, Kyle, the Chiefs weren't the Chiefs this year. We could agree. But they had to start a third stringer. That kid didn't even know how to play. Look, he didn't even play high school football, for God's sake.
Do you think Stidham could be worse? You think he'd play worse than Stroud or Herbert? Herbert had 93 yards.
Yeah, listen, I get it.
I get that in mind. Those are not completely out of reach, and that was in New England.
Listen, I blame the coach. I blame D'Amico Ryans for not pulling him at halftime. That's more on the coach.
Backup.
Davis Mills, who we've seen in the last decade. We haven't seen this guy in a decade.
But I
haven't seen him in 5 years. Realistically, he hasn't started a game in 5 years.
You're understanding my point, though? Like, the Patriots played
bringing up a college game, partner.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
I'm talking about what about the Patriots last week? Stroud was the worst player there is no way that Stidham could be worse than Stroud this week. There is no way.
I tend to think that the Texan defense was the best in the NFL. And the Patriots were struggling with that.
Well,
the Bronco defense is good too. Fine,
it's a great defense. It's a great defense.
But I'll take my chances. Kyle, I think New England can win by a touchdown. That's what I'm. 4.5. You're basically asking them to win by a touchdown.
Are you not buying into the 4.5 that it's not 7.5 or 6.5? Do you know the sports books think it's going to be closer than you're alluding to?
Fine. I just think it's going to be a boring watch, and the Pats are going to win by a touchdown. And I think it's going to be a bad game. It's going to do a tremendous rating because the NFL does ratings. Fine. I think it's going to be an awful game. It's going to be a tough watch. It's going to be more like that Oakland game.
All right.
Las Vegas.
Add you to the list alongside Todd Fleming and Christian Catt.
Oh, it's terrible.
When Jared Stidham, we walk in here and he has 3 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, and 300 yards
One
passing.
on the ground. Can he run?
Yeah, you are You sure can.
Mike, is there Prem football on Super Bowl Sunday normally?
Are you kidding me? Of course there is.
All right,
This
we'll spend
Sunday,
our day
you're not allowed to watch
rewatching those games.
You're not allowed to watch Super Bowl. You're not allowed to watch
The Broncos make the
Jared
Super Bowl.
Stidham listen, don't worry. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, Christian.
If Jared Stidham's in it, you can't watch it.
By the way, can I sell you guys on a Prem game this Sunday? Okay.
You can't
It's
watch
our
it.
team, Christian.
I'm just looking for some other
phony.
football to watch that's not a Broncos game.
You're not allowed to watch the Broncos win the Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham. You're not
Fine.
allowed to watch it.
Fine. I'll make that bet with you right now.
Christian,
What?
if Jarrett Stidham's in that game, you're not allowed to watch.
Okay, what's your stakes?
I like Jarrett Stidham, so I don't know.
You're heartbroken.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
You know, the thing is, I didn't
You're
even
the
like,
one who's on me when I watch
I didn't even
these
like
games,
Denver.
all
I was
right?
rooting for Denver to lose until they had the backup quarterback because I have a soft spot for a situation like
That's
this.
just malevolent.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
lunacy.
awful.
I told you the moment it was last weekend. I told you that we have one good game with the Rams and the Bears, because that was just fact. All right. And the NFL is very upset that Denver ended up winning that game. Not only do they not have Josh Allen, arguably one of the biggest quarterbacks in the league in the AFC Championship, you got a guy who his biggest accomplishment was a decade ago beating some godforsaken Alabama team in the Iron Bowl.
Number one team in the
man.
team that won the championship.
Come on, man.
Now you're being unfair. Team that won the championship.
Whatever, fine. I'm just saying how you're reaching. And I think the NFL knows this, but they know they're bulletproof and they know they're going to get a 30 million rating. They don't care. They don't care that that game's going to stink up the joint. God, that game by the Broncos are unwatchable as it is. Colin, as is, that team is unwatchable. Your words. You've told me all year how you can't stand watching
Jarrett
Denver.
Stidham has I actually think
And now you're behind him because this godforsaken quarterback who nobody knows is
that's
the
dangerous.
quarterback.
That's dangerous.
No, it's not.
Lean into the theme a little bit. Lean into it.
No.
They gotta go. Here's what you need. We labeled it 5 things. You need to be at home. Are the Broncos at home? Yes, they are. You need to have an experienced coach who knows how to win games. They got Sean Payton. That's 2 for 2. You need to have a good offensive line. Denver has that. They have the best offensive line. Find you. That's number 3. Need to go number 4. They need a great defense. Denver has that. They pressure the quarterback. They get the most pressures in the league, I believe, outside of Houston. Number 5, you need to have a beatable opponent. You're telling me the Patriots aren't beatable? You're telling me the Patriots aren't beatable?
So you're trying to sell me that this team is the 2000 Baltimore Ravens with Trent Dilfer at quarterback.
There's a good example.
That's the only example, brother.
There's more examples.
Doug
Doug Williams took over.
All right, fine.
Doug Williams took over in 83.
Brother, since the turn of the century, I think that's it. Maybe
Jeff
Tampa Bay.
Hostetler took over.
Maybe Brad Johnson, 02 Tampa Bay. Fine. What, 2 teams in 24 years? I don't know, brother. I
believe Jim Plunkett took over on the 1980 Raider title. I have to double check. He's a Heisman winner though, but still.
His moment was beating an Alabama team 9 years ago
In the Iron Bowl? Huge game.
Fine. But Colin, it was 9 years ago.
So when he comes out there and he goes 7 for 7 on the first drive for 64 yards and a touchdown, I'm not listening.
I didn't expect it. Give me a second to pull up the last game that Jared Stidham started.
I got you.
I think it was 2018.
No, it was not. It was 2023, 2024. And it was January 2024. He lost. And then he won. His last game he won was December 31st of 2023. He beat the Chargers.
Oh, God.
And then he lost to Vegas on the road his second game.
All right.
Played okay in both games.
I'm trying to go game by game for Jared Stidham.
Yeah, he's got about 1,500.
So 2023, 40 completions to 66 attempts, 496 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick in 3 games in 2023.
That is serviceable, my friend.
Was sacked 7 times.
All right, and he's not going to get sacked that many times this time around. Mike.
I don't see the vision, brother.
There's a positive to take out of the negatives. I of course.
I don't see the vision.
He is
man.
behind the 8 ball. No doubt about that. He is behind the 8 ball. But there is something to this.
This isn't Nick Foles, dude.
I'm not saying he needs to be Nick Foles.
This isn't Nick Foles.
Nick Foles threw for 400 yards.
This isn't Jim Plunkett.
Nick Foles outplayed a
Give me your other names from the 70s.
Doug Williams.
This isn't Doug Williams. This is Jared Stidham, whose most memorable moment was 9 years ago in a godforsaken Cotton Bowl. I'm out.
Iron Bowl.
I'm out on this game. Iron Bowl, sorry. I'm out on this game.
Being a little unfair. When I make a bank and a half on this game on Hard Rock Bet, and I bet it all on Jared Stidham passing yards and to get 300-plus yards, you know where I'm putting that money? Flagler Credit Union.
Correct. And when I make a boatload of money on that Patriot 4.5, I'm putting it right into my Flagler Credit Union account because, folks, I have a personal banking account with our good friends at Flagler Credit Union. You could do business, you could do personal, and hear this. if you got kids in college, you got kids in high school, but you want to renovate that kitchen, you want to renovate that bathroom, if you need some money fast, look into Flagler Credit Union because they are a non-for-profit cooperative, which means they will charge less when you need to borrow that money for the car, for the appliances, for the home improvements that I've been talking about. So think about them if you need some fast cash. There are 4 convenient locations in Palm Beach County: Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and right here in West Palm Beach. I go to the West Palm Beach location because I live right across the street in Palm Beach Lakes. Flagler Credit Union is the official credit union of the Florida Atlantic Athletics. By the way, FAU 1 loss in conference. I was talking to program director Brian Rowitz. They're the top dog in the conference right now.
Having a good year.
So
Jacobs, second year.
Remember when you see all those Flagler banners, folks, they're the local name. When you see the Flagler banners at Florida Atlantic, they're that local name that you could trust with your money, your business, your personal account, taking money out, whatever it may be. Open an account today by visiting one of those 4 locations or going to flaglercu.org for more information. That is flaglercu.org for more information. Get started today and get your money on track.
Yeah, FAU's having a very good year.
Yeah, sleeper. Who would have known?
The conference is not great, but we'll get into that a little later. 5 at 5 with Mike Rizzo and Colin Russo. On the other side of things, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Boy, oh boy, it is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and ESPN South Florida. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. Baseball fans, listen up. Spring training 2026 is officially underway. It is here. Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches is the place to be all year long. Right here in West Palm Beach, catch the Astros and the Nationals, hosting some of the biggest names throughout baseball. Catch the Cardinals, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, even Team Venezuela all year long. Nothing beats a day at Cacti Park. That sunshine, the crack of the bat, cold drinks, and amazing ballpark eats. It really is the best seat in baseball. Spring training runs now through March 22nd, and tickets are selling fast. Cacti Park brings back all the fan-favorite promotions, such as fireworks nights, happy hour games, Bark in the Park. You name it, they got it. Bring your family, get a 4-for-4 pack with 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips. Go to cactipark.com today to lock in those seats. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Don't miss a moment. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program today on the show. Christian Cat is our producer behind the glass today. Christian, hello. How you doing today? What's going on?
You're doing okay. You know, just making it.
Did you hold the door open for somebody recently?
What happened? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never in my life felt more like it than the other night. Went to the driving range, and we get out of work when it is dark outside. So it's dark. Lights are on. There's a glare, and we'll come back to that later. But I'm walking through the clubhouse of the driving range to go out the back door, which is where you actually have the mats and the chipping and putting green and all of that. When I'm approaching the door, I see someone there. I see someone through the clear glass pane of the door. And I go, all right, now we're an awkward distance. I don't want to walk right into them. So I just kind of stand, and I stand to the side. And I don't go towards the door. I let them come through. I am exceptionally passive and submissive when it comes to wrong side of the road. I always try to get out of the way rather than impose my will, which comes back to bite me sometimes. Because when you have two passive people and you both try to get out of each other's way, you end up being in his way no matter what. So I step to the side. I let them walk through. The door opens. No one walks through. So I go, oh, that was nice. He saw me, and he opened the door for me. So I go, I'm going to take it upon myself. Now I'm going to walk on through. When I go to walk through the door, his wife is standing right there. And he was holding the door for his wife or girlfriend. I don't know if they're married or not. And not the strange man who was also walking in that direction. So I cut off his wife in order to squeeze through the door that I thought was held for me and not the woman in the equation. And I have felt less of myself ever since that happened.
Remind me where you were going again? Golf?
Driving range.
Yeah.
He was at the range. Christian, you're hysterical. You overthink this stuff.
I agree.
So bad,
I don't think
dude.
this is that big of a
No,
deal.
it's
not
pretty
that big of a
bad.
deal.
I
I
think
pushed
it's
the
that
woman
big of a
out of the
deal.
way. Like he was being a gentleman.
What'd you say?
I gave the Midwestern oop.
She say anything?
No,
You're
I
not
ran
even
away.
From the Midwest.
Yeah. I hope they never see me again in my life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's one of those situations. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh, God, I didn't see. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. That's it. You move on.
Pardon me.
But you just went, ooh, and kept going?
Yeah, and you have like a
Minecraft
big
villager.
you have a big clunky bag too, so you kind of got to hold it to fit through the door. If you just walk, it'll hit the side and your clubs will get all banged up. Yeah, so that's been eating at me for a while now. But apart from that, I'm doing okay. I do go to the driving range a lot.
You're gonna see them again.
Yeah, you will see them
Probably.
again. But this is very similar to your story with the Uber and how you sat in the front seat because couldn't figure out how to pull
He
open
didn't
the
even
coupe.
bother to try
Yeah.
figuring it out.
He couldn't. You couldn't figure out how to.
In the split second you looked at the car and you couldn't figure out how to put the seat back, so therefore you're like, too much time has been allotted on this predicament, so I need to get in the front seat.
Yeah, that's the second time I've been in the front seat of an Uber. The first time I did hit the ejecto because of an issue. That time I did not. I did it overseas once.
You're an overthinker, brother, and it's fine. It's fine.
I think this is
just
overthinking. I don't think this is that big of a deal.
No, I felt like a complete and total dunce, and I just felt weak. Like, you want to be the macho man that holds the door for others and is nice and kind. not the.
There's a sense of being a hero.
I thought I was going to curtsy for him on the way out.
You know, when they start holding doors, I think the after the third person, all right, now I'm being a hero.
Yeah, they got.
Now I need to stop.
It's like they have a cape on. I would agree.
Yeah,
I've been that guy. I've been that guy.
Right.
No, you know what's a problem in society is double doors at restaurants. I understand it's there to keep the heating and air conditioning the way it is, but it becomes a massive problem when it comes to holding doors for others.
I'll tell you what, Christian, you're dead right on that because growing up, my pappy, he knew the GM at a macaroni grill. I don't know. Do you guys know that
I'm
franchise?
familiar. I've driven past.
Okay. All right. It's a big Midwestern thing, Italian food, decent Italian food. Regardless, we ate for free because my grandfather knew somebody. Dude, the double doors were always a thing. And, she's got the bad knee, and it was just a nightmare getting the old folks through the double doors. There's no need for a double door. There's no need. I'm totally with you on
Costco
that.
figured it out. Like you just
Totally with you
you
on
blow the blowers out the door. It keeps that and bugs outside.
Yep.
You don't need the double
I
doors.
agree with that.
Just think about, all right, so you're in a group of 4. Maybe it's a double date, and you happen to be first in line. You hold the first door open, and now all of a sudden, you're the caboose. Like, you can't hold the next door unless you're, like, squeezing through the door frame and rushing to the front to hold that door.
Again, that's being a hero. You don't need to be the hero there.
But also, when I'm just going out with my girlfriend, I'll hold the first door. So that's kind of kind. It's courteous. She'll get the second door, but everyone in the restaurant only sees the girlfriend holding the door for the boyfriend.
Christian, this is
like I got my pants down in front of America here.
Quickly, Christian, you want to know what you do there? She gets the door and you just grab it and you let her walk through first and you walk through. Done that many a time. I'm weird with that. I always open doors and stuff because my Uncle P, Boston accent, dude, you're really not going to hold the door for your grandmother? That happened when I was 11 and you gotta hold it. You gotta open doors.
Right, but there's a level of being now we're being a hero.
Well, yeah, the one it's like church is the perfect example. Like you hold the door for your family, and then
you're never gonna see. You're never even gonna get in from mass.
I've been that guy who
you're never even gonna
did
get
it
in
for
from
2
mass.
minutes, and then finally a nice father goes, "You did good, kid." Hit me on the shoulder and held the door, and I walked in. So
Yeah, there's got to be.
I'm
a
like,
little
you know
bit
what?
of-
I probably thought I had a cape on. You know what I mean? But it's okay. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, church is a good example.
Yeah,
That's where you get
very
burned.
much so.
That's where you get burned.
Very much. St. Joseph and John, right in Strong's, Ohio. I was that guy.
My
I was that
personal
guy.
impression on church is, you hold the door open till the immediate women and children get through, and then you're in.
And then you got to cut off. You got to put your blinker
it's
on.
It's like merging into traffic.
Well, and you also pray.
It's no
You
problem.
got to pass off the door to somebody else, or it hits you.
You pray.
No problem.
You pray that you get the shoulder tap that I got from Dad.
If
and
you
goes,
were
"Did good,
if you were
kid," and
one
move
body
on.
length behind, one full human grown adult body length behind, doors closed.
And listen, I don't mean to get stuck on this either. If you're a grown man with a family and you're letting some scrawny little kid hold the door for you and your family, you got your own problems. I think.
No.
Grab the door for your family.
You let the kid do
go
it.
in. Go inside.
Because the dad realizes it's hero ball.
Let the kid go inside.
He was raised right. Everyone in that church says, wait, that kid was raised the right way. It reflects
Granted, but
positively on you.
I don't know. If I had a family of my own, I'm holding the door for him. You know what I mean?
I got caught with that at
I'm holding the door for my wife and
Christmas
kids.
Eve mass. I was 50 yards behind my family by the time I was able to pass.
So
it on.
you had the cape on during Christmas Eve?
There was no tag team. There was nobody to come through.
That's an issue.
And all the guys like, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I'm
dude,
blaming those
my
guys.
arm's getting tired.
I'm blaming
I don't even
them.
know where my family's sitting. There's 1,500 people here.
Christian, I'm blaming that guy who's going, thanks. No, grab the damn door.
You can call in and weigh in on door holding culture, 888-760-3776, like Steve in Palm Beach Gardens did. What's up, Steven?
Hey, I don't think he's overthinking it. He's absolutely right that he made a mistake, and he'll have to live with it.
Steve, how long will you hold the door open for other people when they're walking through?
5 to 10 seconds.
5 to 10 seconds. So you got to time.
And you're hoping that a knight in shining armor will take it over for you afterwards and not walk in with his family of 7 and give you a wink, right?
Correct.
Appreciate the call, Steve.
My man, Steve.
Yeah, see, but you also find yourself, if it's a double doors, similar to the situation I was in at the driving range, where you try to catch the door for somebody else who's going through. You ever find yourself in that spot? Maybe it's an elderly person or someone like that doesn't have all their faculties that could use the help of a well-bodied man like we are, where you hold the door, someone goes through, and you got to like catch the door on the other side.
Yeah.
And you end up, or like, who's the stretchy, Mrs. Incredible, where you really got to extend yourself to make sure everyone doesn't get clobbered by the door that's closing at a rapid pace.
Do you want to know what I've mastered? Walking in, someone being a couple paces behind me, kicking the door a little bit to the perfect timing to where that person can.
Where the effort's shown.
Yes.
That's the bare minimum.
Correct.
Is that even if you don't exactly get it for them, they know you tried.
Like he's right behind me, or somebody is right behind me, and I kick it open to where it's open, and all they have to do is catch it and walk in.
Speaking of, like that trend where bathrooms will have the footholds at the bottom to open the door if you don't want to use the hands you just cleaned in the bathroom? You ever see those?
I'm vaguely familiar, to be honest.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So you're talking about doors that are just like cracked open and you can just kick them open?
At the bottom of the door, it's drilled in an attachment to it that you can step and almost drag the door
like
open.
I said, I think I've seen it about twice in my life. That's it.
Good. That's too many times because it's impossible to do that.
Yeah.
And that's too germophobic for me.
Right.
Fair enough.
We'll bounce around, do a little 5 and 5, pretend my flag credit union. First things first, 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Door holding etiquette. Christian's an overthinker. Mike's a hero.
I'm a hero, but at the same time, like, bro, you have a family of 5. You're a grown ass man, and you're gonna walk through the door and look at me. Hold the door for your family.
Mike will hold the door open for women and children, but if he holds the door open for another man, he thinks less of you.
110%. 110%.
So you'll never take another grown man holding the door open for you.
No,
because you'd be like, dude, I'm a grown man.
I'll take the door.
What if you're the only one?
If I'm the only man?
Yeah, if you're the only guy walking through and he holds the door open for you. Are you emasculated by this?
No, but I'm going to take the door unless he's holding the door.
Well, he's holding it open for you.
I'll grab it and say, hey, thanks, man, and he can move on. And I can grab the door and walk in and close the door.
No, I'm talking about like if it's just you.
If it's just me?
Yeah.
And he's holding the door?
Yeah.
And there's nobody around?
No, nobody around.
Thanks, mate. Walk right in.
Okay, I was going to say, it's an awkward interaction.
I was like, you're going to take the door from me.
Sorry.
I got it.
Hey, sorry.
You first.
I thought
that's like, yeah.
I have me going into church just glued into my mind because I've done it a million times in my life.
We got Leo in Riviera Beach weighing on in, loyal listener and fan of the show. What's up, Leo?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. See, this is like tough. There's a lot of things going through your brain when you're holding the door. I've been the guy who's turned into the usher at church where they think you work there almost. You're passing out the bulletins, basically, holding the door for so long. But when I'm say if I'm at a restaurant or something like that, and if I'm going there with my wife and I'm letting her in, I'm going to then turn, and if there's somebody coming, if it's a guy coming, I'm making the eye contact and giving him like the little head nod, and I slowly start to walk, but I extend my arm backwards.
Yep.
And if he doesn't catch the door in time, then he kind of doesn't catch the door in time.
Now this I agree with.
If group of like ladies or something, if there's another group of ladies or something, I'll let them through. Then my wife gives me a look and is like, all right, come on.
Now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble. Yeah, now you're in trouble. Lose, brother.
Appreciate the call, Leo. Now, Leo actually wrote it out perfectly. That's the way I operate. If there's another guy and I have a split second where I could keep a hand on the door, keep it open, but make my way in and time it out so he picks it up where I left off, I don't give him the power in the situation.
But that's
you're either picking this up or the door's shutting in front of you.
Yeah, and that's when you do the Mike Rizzo kick that I was telling you about.
I got you.
Where it's perfectly timed up to where the door is closing and he's able to grab it and walk in.
I wouldn't kick in a crowd, but I understand what you're going.
Yeah.
You gotta take the initiative.
Or if it's like a bump, you know what I mean?
You'll get exploited.
The door.
If you wait, you'll get exploited.
Yeah.
You'll get exploited.
Overextending yourself when you try to hold both doors in a double door situation.
Well, I can't believe you guys.
Yeah, you're big on the double door.
Every restaurant is double doored.
I just can't believe you guys. Like I'm the maniac who thinks like you're less of you if you're with women and children and you're letting me hold the door for your family. Grab the door, mate. Grab the door. This is your family. These are your people. Grab the door. Part of your clan,
Why are you
brother.
holding the door open if not for other people? Why are you holding the door open?
I did my obligation as holding the door for the women and children that I am with. I will gladly hold the door for your women and children, but you better grab the door from me, okay? Hey, thanks, dude. Let me in.
All right, so if you were on the Titanic, and
this is a different life and death. This is life and death.
Oh, you shut the door behind you.
This isn't life or death.
You lock it. You find the latch.
No, I would definitely.
You'd get on the lifeboat?
Honestly, I would like to think I would go down with the ship and get women and children on the boat. I have no issue.
Even if they're not yours.
No issue doing that.
What if they're annoying?
I don't need to save my skin.
What if you saw the father of somebody else's women and children get on that lifeboat? He didn't give his spot up for the 400 to 600 others that were, waiting around in the water.
I'm not following. Run through this again.
Someone else.
I'm on a lifeboat. This gentleman's
Mike,
family.
You ditched the lifeboat trying to be a hero, but you see another guy your age on the lifeboat.
He
How do you
did it
feel about
first.
that, Mike?
He's not the first one to take that liberty.
Listen, I am the one who made the sacrifice. I can live
you're
with
freezing
it.
to death.
I can live with it.
I don't know. I wouldn't be the first. I'd be the second, though.
I could live with it.
I wouldn't be the first dad to be like, all right, I'll get one.
I play hero ball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Even if it's the end of you?
You'd be a hero on the Titanic?
I would be a hero on the Titanic, 100%. 30 years old at this point in my life.
Would you be
Absolutely.
if they said, hey, the chefs are stuck, in the middle, in the hull of the ship, you need to go get them. You'd go get them?
Good swimmer.
Depends on if they cook the steak right.
Good swimmer. Not the strongest out there, but I'm a good swimmer. I do my damnedest.
Oh, so you try to fend for yourself and say, I'm not completely sacrificing
if there
myself?
was a door in the water that you could float on and wait for the lifeboats to come get you, but there was a nice young lady already on the door. There was enough space on the door for two of you, but you don't want to sink the door.
I would sink to the depths of. I would sink to the depths of. I would sink to the depths of Davy Jones's locker.
Wow. So
I would not risk.
On the piece of
I would
wood.
not risk
I don't
killing
know.
a young woman.
This feels pretty pick me from Mike Rizzo.
It's not pick me.
Mike's single and ready to mingle.
I'd make a movie about you if you do it.
I'm being completely honest with you. I would not risk a young woman drowning because my selfish, what wants to, ruin her chances of survival. That's not
I'm
who
not
I
saying
am.
the door
You
does.
guys, hang on.
How
long have you guys known me?
I'm not
You
saying
really
the door
think I would
sinks.
do
I'm
that?
not saying the door sinks. I'm saying there's a chance.
No.
Yeah, he just painted her naked like the night before.
I would not do it.
They have a good
Mike,
relationship
there's space
going.
for both of you, and this is a girl you have romantic interest in, and she has romantic interest in you.
I'd play hero ball still.
You'd sink to the bottom?
Probably.
In hopes of what?
In hopes of nothing.
That she tells the story on a big movie?
No, in
Maybe
hopes
James Cameron makes a movie about you one day?
In hopes that my Lord Jesus Christ lets me through the gates, because that's what I believe in. That's my faith.
I don't know. You're sinking down, not up in that water, man.
I'm sinking down and I am dying, but I believe in Jesus, in the Lord. All right. Come on, man.
Cold.
Catholic over here.
It's cold, man.
It's freezing. I'm dead
anyway.
anyway.
It's going to be a slow
I'm
death.
dead anyway. Why am I going to try to, ruin the chances for that young lady to be saved?
And you're not on top of Everest where, people will, see your face like, whoa, okay, that was cool by him.
I am
eaten by the fish.
I am a brutally honest individual, okay? If that ship's going down, I know I'm probably dying anyway. And I'm doing my best to get as many people as I can off
You'll do all that, but you won't hold the door for someone else's family?
Grab the door, man. Grab the door. I have no problem
What if he's
holding
got a shoulder problem? You don't know
that's
everyone's
different.
ailments.
If he has an injury, yeah, brother, go ahead. You know what I mean? You're in, you got a cast on or whatever. If it's an able, red-blooded American man like myself, grab the door, bro.
But
you're
tendinitis,
you're
you don't have a
embarrassing
cast
yourself.
on.
What if you see another?
You're embarrassing
will you
yourself.
judge another man who gets in the lifeboat in the Titanic and you're not on the lifeboat? Or would you feel jealous of him?
No, I would not.
Would you feel jealous of him?
I would not. I would get women and children on the boat.
No,
what if it was one of those situations where
I knew that was an option.
How about this? Let's say there was enough lifeboats for everybody, but this last lifeboat was pretty heavy, and they said we might have space for one more. Mike's the last one on the ship, and they say, Mike, get on the ship. Are you gonna make a moment and say, no, you guys go?
No, if they want me to get on the ship, I'll get on the ship. I'm not.
Was it a lifeboat?
No,
If
Mike would start looking around and scanning like, all right, I'm about 200. That guy's like 245. He's probably a bigger problem than me on this ship. I think we're playing the numbers game.
If
Hoss.
they told me we could get one more on and there was no women or children around, I'd get on the boat.
What if there's another guy next to you?
If there is another guy there,
and they said, one of you two get on the boat.
Go ahead, brother.
Why? What do you owe him?
It's what my Lord would do.
All right.
I don't know. In a situation like that, where it's crazy like that, I've already made my peace. I've made my peace. Yeah.
You haven't been in one of those situations.
For instance,
have you been on a sinking ship before?
No, but if I were in one of those situations, I'd be able to realize, I probably have a 5% chance of making it out of here alive. I should probably make my graces.
All right. Gotta be honest, I'm kind of with Mike in those doomsday scenarios. It looks so hard to survive. It's easier to be out of my hands. See you guys.
I would do my best to survive, but at that point,
I'm more lazy. Is what I'm saying.
At that point, I I want to help a kid who's 10 years old and has his entire life ahead of him than a miserable 30-year-old like me, okay, who's lived 30 years on this planet
Oxygen
already.
masks come out from the top of the plane. There's a 12-year-old next to you. You've not following the airline's rules and putting yours on first, then helping the person next to you. Are you putting his on first?
I would probably put mine on first because I have more of an opportunity to help once I start getting oxygen pumped in my body.
Captain America over here.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Did you bring the shield on the plane too?
What? Because I'm a good person.
All right, how old?
Because I like to be a good person and help others. I'm an idiot now. Like, come on, man. What is it? Which one is it? You guys can't sit on the fence
I don't know.
here.
This feels performative for Mike Rizzo. This feels like the main character of the situation. Come on.
Whatever, dude. Being a good person and letting women and children on the boat.
So wait, what I got from this part of the story is that you would put your mask on first on an airline when the
I would try to. Knowing me, I'd like fumble the bag and not figure out how to put the thing over my head.
I don't know. Let's go back to the boat. I feel like you got to take.
we're back on the
back
Titanic
to the boat.
now. We're back on the Titanic.
Yeah, I want to
now.
go back to the boat because
Right.
it's like it's my life or it's somebody else's women/children situation.
Yeah, what if you're
my wife and kids would love to have me around, and their life would probably be better with me still in the picture.
It's an impossible situation to.
It happened.
It really
that
is. It's
situation was presented upon many people.
I don't know. I think by the way, I'm not married, don't even have a girlfriend, but I think my imaginary wife in this situation, if she saw me barreling over women and children to get on the boat, how could I face her ever again? You know what I mean?
She'll face you just fine in the new mansion after you sell your story to the movie companies.
Then you're just a scumbag, and you got to live with yourself and hate yourself for the rest of your life.
She says, Mike, I need you on this boat right now. You're going to be on this boat no matter what. And you're like, hold on, let me get this father of 6 who's my age.
You don't have the life insurance either?
Dr. Al, by the way, text the show. Dr. Al of Menzoe Medical, at menzoemedical.com for more information. Doc Al says, Riz, I'm going to follow you around with my wife and kids and walk into places behind you. So you have to hold the door for my family. Doc Al, you better grab the door after me. I have no issue holding the door for the wife and kids, but just grab the door after. That's it. That's all.
And what would you think of Doc Al if he walked through the door while you held it for him?
I mean, really, mate? That's what I would, in my head, really? Not going to grab the door, hold the door for your family, Okay.
Wow. Point of note, let Mike Rizzo hold the door open and do not, under any circumstances, take the door from him.
Yeah, and apparently you guys are just going to be giant scumbags in a life-or-death situation, be barreling over people to save your own skins.
I didn't say anything about how
I've watched too much Star Wars and all that.
I didn't say anything about how I treated.
Listen, all right?
Mike's thinking about the Sony movie rights and wondering who's going to cast him as he
No,
goes
it's not
down.
true. I'm just a good
Mike's
person.
sinking off the boat, and he says, Harrison Ford.
I'm just a good person, dude.
Last words, Harrison Ford.
Colin and Chris are be stampeding over kids.
Callahan and Loxahatchee tunes on in. What's up, Callahan?
Hey, man, that Captain America shield, Russo, man, that was the greatest, man. You gonna bring the shield? Hey, I love that. That's all I got to say right now. When you said I got to bring the shield, I'm a Marvel fan, Star Wars fan. I know Star Wars back and forth. Lord of the Rings. But when you said that shield shit, you gonna bring the shield through like Captain America? That's the greatest thing I ever heard, man, on radio.
Callahan, these kids aren't. Callahan, these kids they would not be on the Jedi Council, to say the least. They're stampeding.
Mike,
they're stampeding over innocents.
Spider-Man.
It's our job. They're stampeding over women and children.
Who you, Anakin? Who you, Anakin?
No, Anakin went to the dark side. I like to think of myself as Obi-Wan. Callahan.
Oh, yeah. Obi-Wan my best. Obi-Wan my best. But I'm just saying, like, hey, man, if you die, you got to be like George Costanza. When that fire set in that apartment, he ran out first. Fuck the kids.
All right, let's talk. Thanks,
you, Callahan.
Callahan. Thanks.
Oh, God.
Way to finish it.
In the words of Michael Jordan, Callahan.
Yeah.
Tina says I can't swim on the YouTube chat.
Is that true?
No, I am an Olympic-level swimmer.
That-
Okay,
that's
Dead
slander
wrong.
or libel?
All right. Now I'm inclined not to believe you. You can't just talk like that.
Dead
Now I'm
wrong
inclined- Now I'm inclined not to believe you.
Very strong swimmer.
I got to say, you're closer to can't swim than Olympic level swimmer.
That's not
Well,
true.
I think saying you're an Olympic level swimmer
It's not
is
true.
more of a lie than can't swim.
That's all right. But to the point, the point I was trying to make is I'm a really good swimmer. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to beat Michael Phelps'
Has anybody
record
ever seen you
anytime
swim?
soon.
Christian, have you ever seen Mike swim?
Not once in my life.
Do you want to come to my apartment tonight?
And do laps?
Yeah. You want to see me? Want to see me do freestyle, do a flip turn in under 60 seconds? All right. Colin could probably do a flip turn. Can you do a flip turn?
I don't flip turn.
Okay,
Flexing
all right.
swimming capabilities is the most
I could
devious
swim.
thing.
I could.
What percentile of the human race do you think you're swimming? Of Americans?
Of Americans?
Yeah, what-
It's top percentile. Easily.
Top what percentile?
I don't know. You tell me. What's the top
Are
percentile?
you 90?
Not good with numbers.
Are you 95th percentile? That good?
Yes, but my
You're the top 5 out of every 100 Americans. You're top 5 in swimming?
I am. Here's the issue. I smoked too much in my past. My lungs. If I had to hold my breath for a long time, I'd be able to tread water for a very long time. If I had to hold my breath, I'd be in some trouble.
You're saying you're top 5 and out of every 100 Americans in swimming, you're top 5?
I would agree.
Okay, so 55% of people cannot swim unassisted. So that means 45% of people can swim.
So you're already in the top. You're already in the 55th percentile.
Dude, I'm a swimmer.
Congratulations.
Any family members, any friends, I'm a dolphin. Okay, I could swim. Kid can swim.
Right.
Like I said, the lungs would be the issue. And I need to lose about 10 more pounds.
Where do you go lose 10 pounds? Where do you go develop those lungs?
Right there.
F45 training. Let's talk about training, not workouts, training. If you want to feel stronger, faster, more conditioned, it's time for F45 West Palm Beach. F45 means functional 45. It's a 45-minute high-intensity team training session designed to build strength, burn fat, and improve performance. We're talking real movements, real results, and a different workout every single day. You're not just walking into a gym, you're stepping into a team environment with experienced coaches pushing you, correcting form, and keeping the energy high. It's like having a personal trainer, but with the competitive edge of a locker room. Whether you're chasing strength, endurance, or just trying to stay game ready, F45 West Palm Beach delivers. Right now, try it out and get 3 classes for just $30. To look at it in downtown West Palm Beach, you can book your spot today at f45.com/West Palm Beach. F45 West Palm Beach, team training, life changing. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Mike Rizzo's going to do his best Spider-Man pose, and then you'll save the city.
And then these two are going to be, and these two.
Yeah, we'll be alive to tell the story.
Yeah.
And these two are going to be barreling over children. They're going to put them They're going to put them in handcuffs on the raft, okay? Because they're barreling over women and children.
I didn't say how I treat myself. I don't know. Mike Rizzo
going to be escorted off the Titanic.
Mike Rizzo, Mike Rizzo. They're going to say, Mike, get on the lifeboat where there's space. He goes, I'm a great swimmer. I'm okay. I got it. I could tread water for a long time.
I just told you I'd get on the boat.
Like
if they told me there was room and there is room, I'd get on the boat.
Who knows if those 8, 9, 10-year-old kids are going to grow up to be good people? You might be doing, you know, about the time traveler situation.
All right, I agree with most things. What are
so
you saying?
I grew up to be a good person, so we're safe here.
Christian lost me there. He lost me there.
So I'm gonna. What's the movie where they go back in time? The Time Stoppers, early 2000s. Where my
Back
millennials?
to the Future.
Not that, but no.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
I think Justin Timberlake was in it. It's
in
like
time.
Men in
Black. It's not a time travel movie.
Well, there is. Listen, there is a time travel
movie.
Early 2000s.
Nothing to do with time travel.
Early 2000s, a time travel movie where
time traveler's wife.
Anyway, let's move on. We're good.
The Disney one. I think I know what you're talking about.
I saw it in theaters.
Minutemen.
Yes.
Minutemen?
Maybe.
Yeah, the blonde guy.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
brunette
Good
guy.
Luck Charlie.
Minutemen.
They didn't try to eliminate any future threats.
But you're gonna go back in time.
They went back to a week ago in high school.
No.
They got an A on their chemistry exam.
Every Minutemen movie, everything I see is just the minute. No, it wasn't this movie. I'll get back to you, bro. I'll get back.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
I'm Mark Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with big moments, big personalities, nonstop action on the big screen, shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis. We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, Colin man.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Let's kick off the new year with a home upgrade that's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
Hey, Colligan man!
Thieves are stealing property every day throughout Florida, and it can happen to anyone. Hi, I'm Mike Caruso, your clerk of court of Palm Beach County, here to tell you about my office's free property fraud alert service. Just sign up at mypalmbeachclerk.com/property fraud, and you'll get an email anytime a document is recorded in your name, address, or property parcel number. Stop them and sign up for property fraud alert. It only takes a minute to register at mypalmbeachclerk.com/PFA.
At HSS, movement is their specialty. Their team of experts provide personalized treatment options backed by over 160 years of orthopedic expertise. Whether you need advanced non-surgical solutions, surgical care, or comprehensive rehabilitation, HSS Florida delivers the exceptional quality care you expect from HSS, the nation's #1 in orthopedics. With 3 locations in West Palm Beach, Wellington, and now Jupiter, expert care has never been closer to home. Choose better, move better. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Funnel cake. Rise. Farm animals.
Wake up, South Florida Fair.
Don't tell me what's fair. What? The South Florida Fair is open? Why didn't you say so sooner? Use the free park and ride from the mall at Wellington Green and Palm Beach Central High School and avoid traffic. Visit southfloridafair.com for details or download the Fair app. Open now through February 1st in West Palm Beach.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222.
0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You got a championship weekend in the AFC and the NFC. You could bet all this, bet game by game, player by player on the Hard Rock Bet app. Go string along as many different picks as you possibly can. Increase your odds on a parlay. Put as little as $1. Get as big payout as you possibly can. If you put just $5 into the app at your first $5 bet, if you win it, you get $150 in bonus bets immediately deposited into your account. That's the type of thing that you can get with Hard Rock Bet. Go do that. Go check out the Discover page. See what other users are doing in terms of their profit boosts and their promo boosts that they're utilizing. See what types of big deals that the Hard Rock Bet has to offer, and tap and tag along on that. It is that easy. Go try it today. It's Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Let's bounce around. Let's have a little fun. Let's do a little 5 and 5. Sorry about Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Let's start with something topical. How about that? Massive snowstorm clobbering the entire United States of America except the Sunshine State. Now, you guys are both transplants here. I'm a transplant here. Are you at all missing out on the winter weather?
I am that guy in your group chat today letting you know that it's 80 degrees. I am that guy. To the point where I even told my boy Gomer, listener of the show, by the way, Gomer was complaining to me. He sent me the screenshot. It was 0 degrees. You want to know what it felt like? -20. I said, Zach, I sent him the screenshot of the flight, the Spirit flight out of Cleveland to Fort Lauderdale. Said, be here tonight. I'll pick you up at Lauderdale. Never heard back from him. It is going to be freezing.
Yeah,
and
it's ice cold in the Midwest, and the Northeast is getting pounded with snow. So it's like pick your poison.
And also, at least my Cleveland folk tell me, it might snow 3 feet on Sunday. It might snow. Not only, like Christian, 3 inches of ice, and then 3 feet of snow on top of that. Power's going to go out.
Yeah, the Midwest is not, at least like the Illinois, Minnesota, those areas, they're going to get snow but not get pounded. They're just they've got the brutal wind chills. I saw Chicago today, felt like -15. Madison, Wisconsin, believe it or not, was a high of -9.
You sent me that.
A high of -9, and that's without wind chill. And the wind chill at 8 a.m. this morning was -32.
Colin sent me Madison's weather last night. Dude, holy cow, you went to school in that?
They call that a polar vortex. They have a couple of those a year, probably 2 a year. And usually they do not cancel classes. I've had a couple where they're in the -20s, feels like, -25s maybe at the most. And they did not cancel classes. I did find out they canceled classes.
Well, we'll never forget at OU when it was so cold, the boiler blew out, and we called it Boiler Fest, and we all went to courtside where they had bottles of water. They didn't even have running water, but the bar was open because they were able to have an insane amount of bottles of water pouring kids up drinks or getting wasted. Great time. Boiler Fest, circa 2017.
Like the pipes were frozen?
Correct.
What's the coldest it'll ever get in Ohio?
Oh, dude, it'll be negatives. But, like, the wind chill in Madison is what's crazy to me.
Yeah, the wind chill, that area, Wisconsin, that's where they get pounded.
But Cleveland, you got to realize, too, Lake Erie, it gets lake effect snow, and it gets to about, feeling -15 out. It's as bad as it gets as well. Not Madison-esque, but you get more snow in Cleveland.
Yeah. That's the one thing about the Midwest. I agree. I've lived in Madison. You don't get a ton of snowfall, but the wind chill
Like you walk outside, your your eyelids will start to freeze.
Well, the worst part was you take your gloves. I remember going to school at Ohio State. A lot of it's in the city. The long walks to class. Dude, you take your gloves off. You couldn't feel your hands. Like it's bad, dude. It's bad. This is like the worst part about this is supposed to be snow too. If it's negative and it snows, the ice, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's 4:44 right now in Madison. It's -8. Feels like -17.
Like that's why nobody survived the ice age, folks. You can't do anything. Power goes out. You got no heat. You're done.
Now, normally I would not feel bad. There's a little something to be said about a snow day, though. In the year 2026.
I think that on a weekend, too, everybody's going to be in. It's going to do a great rating, by the way. As long as powers don't go up, it's going to be a great rating for football because everybody's just going to be watching the games.
I'm not 15. I'm good on the snow day.
Wait a second. I got to check the weather in Denver.
Good on the snow day, bro.
In Denver, it's going to be freezing then in that case. I play that game outside.
I don't know what it's like in the Mountain West. I do know that.
It's like most of the eastern seaboard is being demolished.
Yeah, I'll check right now.
Were you guys part of the generation?
Sunday, 22, low of 6. It'll be very cold. And Denver has not been cold throughout the entire winter, but I'm not that bad.
So to find out if it was a snow day, what I had to do?
Yeah, the ticker on the news channel?
No, but my local city had a local channel. Like, we had cable, wire cable, and, I was fortunate enough to have a TV in my room growing up with cable. So what I would do is I'd throw it on the local channel, and if Strongsville City Schools were canceled, it was a bright red screen. So I knew I was in trouble when I woke up at about 6:30 when I had to be at the bus stop by 7, and I did see that godforsaken red screen. How the hell are we going to school today? And the first thing you'd see is, I can't believe we're in school.
That's a crucial part of child development.
It is.
I don't think kids in South Florida get.
Mike, we got a Tony Reality fact check. Humans survived the Ice Age.
Well, you get what I'm saying. A lot of people didn't, Christian. All right, they survived the Ice Age, which was probably one of the worst lives you could possibly be, living in a tent behind a fire 24/7. Unless you're going outside hunting dangerous mammoth. Okay.
Number 2.
Did you hear about this story down south? A former Miami Heat security officer has been sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. He was ordered to pay nearly $1.9 million in restitution. Why? He stole hundreds of game-worn jerseys and other valuable sports memorabilia while working for the team. His name's Marcos Thomas Perez and was sentenced earlier this month. He pled guilty for transporting and transferring stolen goods in interstate commerce. Does the punishment fit the crime? 3 years federal prison, owing $1.9 million for, just picking a jersey here, jersey there.
You said hundreds.
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
So you got away with that for a while.
Mario Chalmers.
Did you have the scheme? How long it lasted?
Let's see here. We don't know the scheme, but he worked for the Heat from 2016 to 2021.
So it was a 5-year period.
And then he was an NBA security employee from 2022 to 2025.
So a 10-year period, he was stealing jerseys.
Mm-hmm. More than 400 jerseys and other items.
3 years?
3 years in federal prison.
Makes sense, right? I don't know enough about it. I'm not a judge.
I feel like there's more victim crimes that get less than 3 years of federal prison. This feels kind of victimless.
Not victimless.
Like Duncan Robinson is like, where'd my jersey go?
You're breaking the law. But
I don't see your point, but it's under the impression that hey, we robbed the bank. Nobody got hurt. It's insured by the federal government.
True.
We should not serve jail time.
Yeah, you got to set an example. If this guy's getting away with it, he's passed the word over to Chicago.
That's another good point. He's going to have to serve time.
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, I'm not a judge either. But yeah, I mean, and it seemed like he was a pretty high up individual too. And it reminds me of the guy who was stealing the lobsters at Uncle Marty's restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is he sleeping with the fishes or what happened?
He's not sleeping with the fishes, but let's just put it this way. He had a good gig lined up. He was probably going to take over the restaurant, but my Uncle Marty caught him thieving lobsters to his buddies at the back window, and no jail time, but, let's just say that individual wasn't working at Uncle Marty's restaurant anymore.
How many lobsters?
Huh?
How many lobsters?
Too many.
How many is too many?
Too
How
many.
long did you do this?
Were you keeping inventory and realized the numbers weren't adding up?
Correct. And, because Uncle Marty, people were ordering the lobster, the steak, surf and turf. And listen, lobster in Brook Park, Ohio, all right, takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, all right? When's the last time you saw a lobster in Lake Erie, all right? So you get what I'm saying now. Uncle Marty, old school guy, all right, well, lobsters are missing. All right. Well, I told the staff maybe it'll stop. It didn't stop. Uncle Marty, he found out, went down to the basement where the lobsters were, and car out back getting loaded up with the boxes of lobster.
Oh, it's boxes. I think you said he was helping his buddies. Like he was giving them a singular lobster.
No,
they were opening their coat jacket. Hey,
they were making money. Yeah, this was a scheme.
Oh, they're reselling.
Yeah. God, I wish I wasn't sick. This is a story I wish my old man could tell because he does it 10 times better than I could. But yeah, Amigos, Brook Park.
Number 3.
We've got Championship Sunday coming up a couple days from now. Patriots, Broncos at 3 o'clock. Rams, Seahawks at 6:30. Who would you rather see in the Super Bowl, the Rams or the Seahawks?
I'm Team Seahawks here.
I'm Team Stafford. I can't. You want a Sam Darnold, Jared Stidham Super Bowl?
Not even a question.
There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be great.
No.
Get some help.
No. Give me Rams and give me Patriots. It's a great matchup.
They're both good teams.
Yeah. I'm not. Talk about a rating, all right? That's where you lose the football fan. You'll get the person that's hanging around for Bad Bunny, fine. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less about Hawks and Broncos.
It'd be a good
with
measuring
Stidham
stick
and Darnold.
game to see how bulletproof the NFL really is.
Guess
if
what,
you want to
Kyle?
learn something, there's your
Newsflash.
team.
Newsflash. It's going to do a tremendous rating.
Number 4.
Number 4.
We have got a big-time straight-to-streaming event going on live on Netflix. Alex Honnold. Back in 2017, he famously free-soloed El Capitan in Yosemite National Park.
Yosemite.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Well, this same guy who's
That's
going to...
a bad one. I'm going to be honest. That's a bad one.
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
So tonight on Netflix...
That's a bad one.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yosemite?
It's a bad one.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
Yosemite
honest.
Sam, right? That's the name of that guy?
It's okay. It's all
It's
right.
a rough one. I'm
Moving
gonna be
on.
honest. I had to say I was gonna let the first one. It's Honnold, not Honnold, or however you said it.
Oh,
I let that
all right.
slide.
I'm okay.
We're out of
Sorry
our
about that.
element.
You know,
Keep
you're not going to
going.
hold that against me.
I know. That's why I didn't say anything. But
All right, what the hell? They're climbing a mountain?
Yosemite had to,
So-
something had to be said.
So they're climbing a mountain at Yosemite.
He
Something
did,
I
he did the
understand.
mountain. He did Yosemite in
Dude,
2017.
I mispronounce names all the time. Fine.
He did Yosemite in 2017.
We draw the line at Yosemite.
The same guy, Alex, is going to solo free climb Taipei 101, one of the tallest buildings in the world, live on Netflix at 8 o'clock. Do you have any interest on those Daredevil live
What day is this?
tonight, 8 o'clock?
Won't even think twice about putting it on. Do not care.
I feel like if he
I
does-
do
if,
not
That takes
if,
a long time.
if he has a wire attached to him, I'm not interested. I want actual life and death.
Well, remember they had that one guy who did, was it across the Grand Canyon? He did the wire walk.
Probably Alex.
No, it wasn't him. Alex is a climber. It was another guy. It was years ago. It was across a big ravine.
yeah, he said-
but he did it without a wire. It was on national television. I
Talking to
remember
the
that.
wrong person
I
here.
think
think this is, a cross. Is Capitan? Is that what that is?
No, so Capitan is a famous documentary called Free Solo.
Okay.
And El Capitan is a very tough mountain to climb, and a lot of people, it's a mountain face, and a lot of people call it, like, it's very difficult. You have to do it with gear. And he did it free solo, and this guy is a lunatic. You could listen to some interviews with him. He has no fear. He has completely lost his sense of life and death. See, the problem is I believe he has a family. So that's why when he did El Capitan, I think this was 8-9 years ago.
2017.
Yeah, 8-9
when
years
Jared
ago.
Stidham last played a
Right,
meaningful
so-
game.
Yeah, the
Since
Iron
then,
Bowl.
he has a family, so that's why I'm a
2017.
little against him continuing to do this. It's one thing if you're El Solo, but he's no longer El Solo because he's got a family. But I'm telling you, he's a fascinating person. He is an unbelievable climber, and he has done a lot of prestigious. He's gonna have no problem. It's a
Christian-
building. He's gonna have absolutely no problem scaling this building.
No chance I put this on.
None
Won't
of
even
five
come.
anything to do with it. I want some real drama. You
it's
don't
going-
want to watch?
There was no chance.
No chance. No chance I watch this.
He's gonna have no trouble.
It's
with
going to
this
be probably a lot of college basketball, whatever's on. I'm playing EAFC and Cyberpunk, so I'll probably have the game on. I'll be playing the game. I wanted to go to a happy hour. I needed a male to go to a happy hour with
yes,
me in
that
this
brings
roster.
us to
Number 5.
Mike. No one wants to go out with you. And
Nobody.
pull ladies.
Nobody. I'm 31 years old. I'm a single individual.
So you want to hit the town.
I wanted to go out. We got invited to a happy hour and a Saturday and somewhere on Saturday, and I can't get any of my boys in the office to come with me. And to be fair, I don't drink. I am the life of the party sober, so there's no worries there. All right,
as opposed
great
to
swimmer,
according to you.
All right, but at the same time, like I can't show up to this happy hour without a male. I can't.
Why not?
So I can't. For reasons we
What are you talking about? Less fishermen on the bridge.
No, I
More
need
tuna for you.
Need a wingman to go with, and all my boys shot me down. Gave me an excuse. Colin's retired at 23 years old. Our good buddy Andrew
My family's
Crosby.
in
I
town.
told him I'd get the air mattress. He could stay over because he lives in
I have Sunday
Wilmington.
huddle on
He
Sunday
told me
morning.
to kick rocks.
I have Sunday huddle on Sunday morning.
Doesn't mean we got to be out till 1 in the morning. You can stay out till 10 o'clock. I don't know. I'm done trying to get coworkers to go out and have a good time.
Mike's had a
I'm
rough
done.
day.
And that brings
I'm
me
done.
to my conclusion that is true. There is bias against guys that are in relationships in this office. They are completely excluded from plans being
You didn't
made.
ask Christian.
Never. Not once.
You didn't
Not
ask Christian?
once
Mike?
even asked.
Mike?
Never.
Christian would not have interest in going to this place.
It's ridiculous.
Unfortunately for us, he's right here. Christian?
I can't ask myself.
Would you want to go?
No.
You want to go? Okay, exactly. That's why I don't ask.
I'd like the option.
Listen, Theo would not go. Christian would not go. And there are 4 friends in the office that would want to go, and they didn't want to go. They told me to, kick rocks. So video games and college basketball tonight.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo. We'll see you next time on ESPN 106.3.
Yeah, you should be